Hello again, everybody. It's Harry Boxer, the Technical Trader at TheTechTrader.com. It's Thursday night, April the 6th. Rough markets these days, but we did manage to hold support. I'm not sure about tomorrow, though. Quite frankly, I'm bearish, and we'll leave it at that, at least on a short-term basis. However, I'm going to go over some longs and shorts today. There are some stocks that are running, particularly some biotechs, but there's others that are getting hammered in that group too, so you got to be really picky and very careful. Anything that's running in the biotech sector, you got to play it with stops and keep raising your stops intraday. We'll leave it at that. We'll start off with AKTX. What a nice move it had today. Take a look. The 1 minute intraday chart shows an explosive move early pre-market, and it had a coil. When the market opened, it exploded, consolidated, popped, pulled back, and retested, and then kept running. And by midday, around noon, it already had a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-way move, and finished it off at about 18 and a half. From where the first entry opportunity would have been right after the opening at 13.75. Big move. Then a fifth wave consolidation occurred, which we often say can be less reliable, and that certainly was. Came down, formed another bear coil, broke down, snapped back to the apex, and then got hammered lower even after hours all the way down to 14. So from 18 and half to 14, definitely did not want to hold it through that. And it also looks like a left shoulder, head, right shoulder, intraday, hidden shoulders breakdown. However, on a daily basis, you can see that the stock ran up to a resistance zone, so no surprise that it pulled back. The question is, over the next few days and weeks, are we going to consolidate and then maybe thrust out? Something to watch. It is extremely overbought short term, having gone from 6.25 to over 18 and a half today. So the bottom line is, just wanted to show it to you, but be really careful going forward, particularly with that close today. Cara Therapeutics, what a nice session that had. After the pullback in this falling wedge here, in this pattern right there, tested the support and moving averages at the prior high down here, and the trend line. The stock popped yesterday a little bit out of the falling wedge, or up to the falling wedge, and today it popped out. But I need to really see this through, say, 19 with volume to get it going. And then we have resistance, of course, at 2090. My target's around 23 if we can get it moving. The volume today was a nice pickup to 3.8 million. And it closed pretty well near the upper end of the range. So we'll watch this one tomorrow for an extension, which could take it, or should take it, like I said, up towards 23 plus. Up next is FGEM. I like the way FGEM acted today a lot. After the consolidation of the last month or so, the stock popped with a breakaway gap and it traded 2.3 million. Had a good close too, and it closed above resistance. When you look at this pattern and the way it's structured, it appears that that's your trend line, upper end and lower end. So where can we run up to? I would have to say 29.30 zone is a near-term target, and there's 6.5 days to cover that one. Big day for GBX. Yesterday was the big day. Today was an inside day and a positive one. It jumped another $1.25. I like the strong volume. I like the inside day. Of course, we have resistance up around 49.25 area. We can get through that. This stock can run into the low and mid 50s, and then ultimately I have a 57.8 target. Nice long-term channel. 22.8 days to cover. Are you kidding me? This is going to get spiked. How about that HTGM today? Look at the 1 minute intraday chart. Pretty amazing as it exploded, pulled back, ran up again, and then pulled back. And at the end of the day, ran, after hours, after pulling all the way back in the close near 7, it exploded to 9.34 before backing up to 8.32. Up another $1.08 after hours on top of the 174. Total today was over 280, and it traded huge volume. You can see that this potential pattern here is another bull coil. If this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we'll see. But if it's 1, 2, and 3, and this is 4, the fifth wave could take it to 10 and a half or more. I'm going to have to keep close tabs on this one tomorrow morning, but I don't want this under 8.25. Let's say, I don't want it under 8.15. Anything below that, and it could fall apart. But on a daily chart, the massive explosive move it had 2 weeks ago, and then the 3-wave corrective falling wedge came right to a support zone, and it spiked up. We're just going to have to see what happens tomorrow. KEM, well, I want to show you this because it pulled back to support right there in that zone near the trend line, not far from the moving average, and it bounced a little today. It was up 45 cents. Nothing spectacular, but I want to see if this one is able to get through this declining top line, take out the month and a half consolidation, because if it does, this is a $16, $18 stock. Momo, beautiful reversal off the low today. That reversal comes right off the trend line, and what's going to be needed now for Momo is to get this to 36.20 to get it really running. I could see it at 40, 45, something like that in the next couple weeks. So let's keep close tabs on Momo for potential day and swing trades. NVCR snapped back nicely in the last couple of days off the lows where I said there was some support around the 985 area. Today got up to over 11, but finished at 10.95, up 70 cents or almost 7% on 3 million. Look, we need to get this to do a 50% retrace to 12, and then we'll see if it's going to back and fill or run back up to 14 and better. I like the overall look. There's still 20 days to cover, and I think we're headed eventually to 17. Shippers were strong today. Two of the ones we like, including Swing Trade Salt, had a good day. Up 10%, dropped 90 cents. After 10:08 closed at 980. 2 million traded. That's the best volume in a couple of 3 weeks. It looks to me like this channel is in play, and that we're going to test 11 as early as maybe tomorrow. There's a triple top right there. Great looking chart. The other one is Starbulk, SBLK, which is also in a very similar pattern, and it's at resistance. Any breakthrough in this area, we're looking at a $17 stock potentially. Keep an eye on that as well. Sears, I really like the wedge setup on this. It spiked that big volume for 4 or 5 days, and then it settled in for a week. If we break this, we break the declining tops line, we should get a run up to test, I would have to say, 13 3/4, 85 area. That's my next target. When we get through that, I'm looking at 17, 18. 11.8 days to cover. This one looks intriguing. Keep a close tab on this one. And today we had nice action on Sun. Take a look at the intraday pattern. It exploded early, pulled back, and then finished strong. Up 483 or 20% on 11 million. Very impressive. Now, ahead of us, we have some resistance up near, well, today's high was resistance, and you can see why I may have pulled back. But any follow through, we may see a quick 30, 30 and a half. Keep your eye on this one as well. On the short side, let's take a look at a few of the shorts that I've picked out for tonight. CATM, well, this big bear wedge or flag, whatever you want to call it, is about to be tested and may be broken. If it gets underneath, let's call it 44, 43 and a half. Yeah, under 43, 60, 65 tomorrow. That won't take much. Drops a point. It could drop as much as 41 and a half, and then eventually in the high 30s. It looks like this is about to roll over. FPRX did roll over. Not only did it form a head and shoulders, and then a rising bear wedge, failed at the moving average, but it got slam dunked from 49 3/4 down to 35 before forming a little bear flag. Since then, it's been down for 6 days in a row. Today, getting to the bottom of the channel, and my target around 32. That should have been covered. Not that it can't go lower. There is a potential of seeing 28 on it, but because of the angle of descent, I'm looking for some sort of snapback potentially. I would, you know, now that it's dropped from like 49 down to 32 that quickly, it may need to do some backing and filling and consolidation. Jack in the box, well, I'm still waiting for this to crack. The big move down and then this rising wedge right to where the 50-day is. Look at that reversal day yesterday. Today was up a little bit, 32 cents, 0.3%, nothing big, and the volume was exceptionally low. So I'm going to conclude that this is about to break. Watch it tomorrow, under 100. I think the stock could fall apart. My targets are 98, 91, 92.3, and then much lower, eventually towards 80. Silica, I still think this is a bear wedge. It came down, bear wedge, and came down from another bear wedge, and a big one. You can see there's big resistance in here across that line. So anything above yesterday's high, above 50 or so, would be a potential stopping point. So you only have a couple points in here, but if it rolls, you have a long way down to go towards 38. First 42 and then 38. Stamps.com got slam dunked today. I showed you that flag yesterday, and today it just got hammered from 115 all the way down to 101 and change before bouncing. It bounced at 8 points today. It was down 11 at one point, so a good comeback off of key support. Net, I would wait to see what consolidates in here and whether or not it sets us up, but my next target is 90. Tempur-Pedics, I think, could be breaking. Now, it was an update today, but it's still in the confines of a falling wedge, a bear wedge, and a falling moving average. As long as it doesn't pop and take out, say, the 48.9 zone, I'll be good with this for an additional downside extension that at some point could take us to at least 36, perhaps even much lower, eventually potentially high 20s. Texas Roadhouse, another rising wedge, right too near resistance, and I'm looking for this to fail in that zone and roll over, retest the lows at 40, and eventually get down to 37, even maybe 35. That's it for tonight, everybody. Let's make some money tomorrow. Good luck and good evening. Good night.